Hey guys, had a recent request from Chris. He wanted to see Travis Shaw of the Brewers and Orlando Arcia, obviously of the Brewers as well. So we're going to go ahead and put both in the same video here for him and for you guys to take a look at. Now both of these guys I had updated about a week ago, a little bit more than a week ago, so they're pretty consistent with the ratings you'll see here on the screen. A little bit changes over a week, probably see more changes over the course of a month, but go ahead and open up Travis Shaw right here and get to him real quick. See, he's at 291 right now. It's a 306 hitter. And I'm doing this video on August 11th. He's a 306 hitter versus righties, 248 versus lefties. When a guy's above 300, I put him at 80 or above for contact. 325 hitter and above, I'd have him 90 and above in terms of contact. So at 306, you could probably leave him here. At 82, bump him up or down a point. Versus lefties, he's at 248. When a guy's at 250 in that range as a hitter, put his contact at 60. So 248 hitter, he's also good in this range. You could, again, it's plus or minus a point here and there. Shouldn't make too much of a difference. And again, this is just how I do mine. Now, power, 4 home runs and 100 at bats versus lefties. If you factor that over 600 at bats in a season, it'd be roughly in the mid 20s. So versus for power, what I do is 70 to 80 is kind of in the 20 to upper 20s home run range. And he's in the middle to the lower end of that. Put him in 72, 73, 74 in that range for his power versus lefties. Versus righties, 20 home runs and 291 at bats, which would translate to about 40 home runs over the course of a season. If a guy is on pace to do 40 or would do 40 and 600 ABs versus either type of pitching, I'd put him at 90 in that range. Plate discipline, he's at 363 on base percentage and 291 batting average, difference of about 70. So you see here I have his discipline about 7. He could probably do 65, 75, one or the other. He does have a little bit of speed, 9 steals. Surprising for a guy that size and a third baseman to boot. Have his speed about 69, right? 70, 71, tendency and ability at 70. He will pick you up a couple steals in your dynasty if you have him in that range, in the 70 range. Taking a look at the hot and cold zones real quick versus righty pitching. Looks like he's looks like he's the same. Looks like his zones are all the same versus right-handed pitching at this point. And versus lefties, it looks like everything's the same here for him. So that's Travis Shaw. Go ahead and jump out of him. Take a look at Orlando Arcia real quick. Take a pause here and take a moment and see what we have him at here before we look at making any adjustments. So it looks like overall he's hitting 283 on the season. Splits actually aren't that drastic. Versus righties, 285. Lefties, 276, consistent. Now versus righties, a 285 hitter, be roughly somewhere in the middle of 70 to 80. Again, 70 is for a 275 hitter, 80 would be a 300 hitter. So he's right in the middle of that. Versus lefties, 276 now. So Looks like we can bump him up a couple points here, 70, 71. Leave him at 70. Home runs versus righties, 10 and about 300 at bats, which would translate to about 20 over the course of a season. Again, 20 would translate to 70 on the power scale that I use for guys. Versus lefties, 1 home run in about 90 at bats, so very little power. Might get close to 10 if you factor that over the course of 600 at bats, so we can bump him up a few here. But really minuscule power versus lefties. On base percentage 325, batting average 383, or excuse me, 283. Looks like the spread there is about 40, so we can bump the discipline down a little bit. I want to bump his durability up there. Quick side note real quick, durability, it's hard, something that's hard to really put a number on. Usually I have guys, when they're in the minors, I'll have them in the 60 to 65 range. When guys get up to the majors, I put them up to 70, 75. I don't really have too much of a formula for that, so it's kind of basic. But back to it though, speed, it's like 80, 11 steals right now, so I'll have him at 81. Just a little bit better than Shaw. Tendency 80, base running ability 80 as well. We could take a look at his splits real quick before we get out of him. Or excuse me, I'm at the hot zones, that is. So, versus right-handed pitching, it looks like this is what we had him at before. Looks like he's got a couple more cold boxes, or hot boxes that converted to cold here. And again, guys, this is on ESPN.com, so that's just one of the sites I use for hitters. Looks like this one's cold now, hot, same, and all of this is the same. So, hey, that's Orlando Arcia. Thanks again for asking about these guys, Chris. Anybody else, if you guys want to see anybody, get an idea of how I do these ratings for players, then go ahead and shoot me a request. And thanks as always for watching. Take care, guys.